Good morning there, Murray's readers and leaders. This is Author Roy Murry, all the way from Hollywood, Florida. I hope everybody's fine out there. What we're going through in the moment is horrendous. However, there is light at the end of the tunnel, I believe. I'm here to give you a book review on A Veil Removed by Michelle Cox. It's the fourth book in her five-book series. Unfortunately, I should have read the first book in the series. You can get it for 99 cents. But for some reason, I latched onto this book. It's a book written in the era, about the era of the 1930s. 1935, to be exact, is when uh, it's a Henrietta and Inspector Howard's series. And Inspector Howard, of course, was, because in this book he isn't, he was a police inspector in Chicago. And Henrietta, their life prior to this book, I have no idea how they met, what mysteries they solved prior to this book. So I was a little bit lost. However, the author does give us, Michelle Cox does give us, the reader, a hint of where uh, Henrietta came from and where Howard Clive came from. Now, how the Clive family is a very wealthy family, and Henrietta and Howard were on their honeymoon. Now, obviously, if they were on a honeymoon, they had a romantic, in book 1 through 3, they had a romantic adventure, which I recommend. Read book 1 now, which I will go ahead and buy. In this book, they come back from their honeymoon because Howard's father died. Everybody, including the police chief, believe it was an accident. Accidents do happen, but this gentleman took this train a number of times, and how he ended up being killed by a train is a mystery. In any case, Elsie, Elsie, is Henrietta's sister, and she takes up quite a bit of the book in her schooling, who romancing the social life, and it does entwine with Henrietta and Clive. They, of course, it was her sister, and they've been elevated into the wealthy society too. Henrietta from marriage, her family, and her ma, as I said, by circumstances. In any case, uh, Howard's Inspector Howard's father dies, and they come back from the honeymoon. Uh, and Elsie's schooling and socially and lovers and whatever comes into play. Uh, and then finally, when they get down to it, the inspector gets into investigating why his father died. And it's it's impelling. It moves right along. From that point until a extremely deadly, deadly ending. Uh, it's a book that I enjoyed. I enjoy everything. I don't review things that I don't enjoy, because I'd probably, if I said some of the books that I didn't enjoy and put it on tape, even wrote down, I would be crucified on Twitter. But it's colorful. It gives the era of the 1930s the language, which in in reading this you'll laugh some and you'll cry some. You know it's a definite lead into book number 5. Uh, the first book, which I just purchased, is a girl like you, and I think that will give me the background that I need of a intense mystery. This wasn't so intense. It came up in and out of other chapters with Elsie and her love affairs and the family and how they came from different, the Clives and the Von Heavens, I think it is, came from a different background, and that's interesting how they come together. And of course, Henrietta is beautiful, and a lot of people don't know why she is with this gentleman, and she's always got people chasing after, but she's in love with him. They bring that out in the book too. It's one that romance people will like the book as much as mystery people will like the book. Uh, I wish it was more from beginning to end, complete mystery. But the romance part works out for me too. So remember, buy the book, but buy book 1 first and start the series. And if you like mystery and romance, this is for you. So subscribe, hit the bell, get the future videos from me. And remember, tomorrow at 9 o'clock, we're having the conversation of vampires. A book I read turned me around. Do you like vampires? Do you believe in vampires? Well, come back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, and I will be here live for you. And we'll see if this one can get more than one, one subscriber there for the video. See you later, alligator. This is Author Roy Murry.